in between videos today, someone tagged me in something on Twitter, and I get tagged in a lot of things, but none of them really to this extent have prompted me to go down such a rabbit hole where, trust me, my tinfoil hat was secured. So with all that being said, I would love to, for a second, come up, get some air, and get all of your attention and bring you down the rabbit hole with me. Let me explain how my day went. Craig, right here. Craig Settles. He tagged me at Matt Kohrs. I like it. No, he's a man, a very efficient man. No message, no nothing, just Matt Kohrs, just the tag. And then this is the thing that caused me to spend hours going into a rabbit hole. And obviously, he's just referring to someone else's tweet that came out this morning. Why isn't this all over Twitter? And this is from foray_coin. So shout out to both you, Craig, and Foray, whoever you are. You caused me to do hours and hours of research. And boy, oh boy, let me tell you what I found. So first of all, I was looking into information related to TD Ameritrade. It's a very, very well-known brokerage. In fact, at the start of this year, I opened up an account to use it for options trading. And as you're about to find out, I might not be using it much longer. Well, to get information about it, you can look up what's referred to as a Form ADV. Form ADV is the uniform form used by investment advisors to register with both the SEC and state security authorities. Now, there's various parts to it, and it's a lot of information. So, for example, just part 1 requires information about the investment advisor's business, ownership, clients, employees, business practices, affiliations, and any disciplinary events for advisors or its employees. And then it's just bunch of information, this Form ADV, and these are the kind of people who have to follow it. So anyway, as you follow what you should do to the letter of the law, you're going to be filing these, a lot of these, and I'm sure there's like if different states, different cities. Anyway, you can look these up. So you look up TD Ameritrade's right here. Form ADV, if you want this one particularly, you can find it yourself. CRD 7870, you're going to find TD Ameritrade. There's a lot. This is big. This is 149 pages of stuff that's going to be boring and causes your eyes to glaze over. Nonetheless, I did the research for you. Go to page 17. Dun, 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 dun. All right, 17, right here. Off-site storage facility for records not required to be kept on site. All right, this is something that basically TD Ameritrade is using to file papers. It's a storage facility. And the address is 1200 Humbracht Circle. I don't know. Don't ask me. It's in Bartlett. It's in Illinois. And I guess they name their circles weird names. And hey, it looks cool. You look it up. They got some trucks. It looks fancy. You can see it. It's just a nice big circle. Beautiful day. Everything's fine. Well, and right here, 1200 Humbracht Circle, Bartlett, Illinois. So far, you might be thinking to yourself, but Matt, what? I thought you said we were going down a rabbit hole. I thought you said we were really going to have to secure our tinfoil hat for this particular journey. What's going on? You're just showing me a nice looking day in Illinois, and you showed me some form that I don't care about. And in fact, if I'm being honest, I've already forgot the acronym that you told me about. Well, folks, this is what I've been prepping you for. This is what it looked like, I guess, in October of 2018. You want to know what this looks like right now? As of a couple hours ago? It is a fire. A fire, a fire, a fire, another fire, and another fire. It is being burned to the ground. Intense flames engulf the 250,000 square foot warehouse in this block. This is the location. You know, a couple years ago, it was looking good. Right now, it is set ablaze. And apparently, it's so wild and it's hard to put out. And it was like the way the flames were, it like took out the sprinkler system. So that didn't work at all. So whatever this is, it's ash. It is ash. It is ash. It is ash. It is burned to the ground, as you can see. So once again, you can be like, okay, buildings burn down. Well, let's not forget that right now, a couple of days ago, the DOJ said right here that they are probing almost 30 short-selling firms and allies. So you have these short-selling firms, and depending on where they are or aren't executing trades, One of them could potentially be TD Ameritrade, where maybe they have some hardcore copies of stuff being stored that they don't want to get to light. I find it very odd timing that as soon as the Department of Justice announces that they're doing a probe with 30 short-selling firms and a very well-known brokerage, TD, a couple days after that, ends up on fire? A literal storage facility for records not required to be kept on site? The timing of this is insane. Could it be a coincidence? Yeah, maybe. But as you know, like we commonly say on this channel, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And so I was looking into that and I was like, this is all just freaking wild. And then it got a little bit more. Right here, shout out to True Demon, a TD Ameritrade facility burning to the ground containing unknown numbers of papers and records mere hours before a KP Holdings associated with Ken Griffin and Citadel plane flies out of the US entirely to London, currently in flight over Finland. So you're seeing the flight, and it sounds like this came from Supersonic, but I first read it with True Demon. So it's coming out, like the timing of all of this is just absolutely insane. Could it all be a coincidence? Yeah, it could be, but it's far more fun for me personally to think that it's not when I have my tinfoil hat on this tight. So that leads me to some other things that I think we should talk about. We've seen this before with TD. This is all really sus. And if we don't get answers, like I said, I've been trading on TD this calendar year. Started 2022, I did an options trading challenge and I still have money in that account. But if this remains super suspicious and we're not getting answers, I'm done with it. This is the same thing that happened with Webull. From Robinhood, there was an exodus. People were like, we don't like Robinhood. Let's get on Webull. At one point, I own that. I did promote Webull because I didn't know what was going on. It wasn't until this year that I learned all about payment for order flow. That's not something that's commonly discussed in the world of trading. Well, you learn about it, and I was like, wow, that seems bad. And unfortunately, this isn't true for many people that have a following. But for me, I was like, that's not something I want to deal with. So I got off of Webull, and it looks like we're going the exact same route with TD Ameritrade because I'm refusing to in any way be a client or really, I guess, benefit the business of these brokerages that I don't think are on our side. That's exactly why I fully got off of Webull. And yeah, it makes me mad that you see these other people continually using it. I don't understand why, but it looks like TD potentially going that path. So like I said, if we don't get any legitimate answers of what is going on, because this is so wild, hey, there's other brokerages out there. I'm just going to go to another one. It's not that hard, but one that if it's this sus, if the fire inspector comes out and is like, no, this wasn't an accident, this looks like arson. If something along that like path really starts to develop, I am going to be gone before you can possibly blink your eyes. So I just wanted to share this entire rabbit hole scenario with you as it relates to TD and a fire and the Department of Justice probe. And I also wanted to give you that quick little snapshot of what's currently going on in the world of politics and potentially some political insider trading.